Okay, and we're back. Yeah, I just realized my microphone was backwards this whole time.
Yeah, because I told you.
You could have mentioned it earlier.
I could hear you. I assumed that everyone else could hear you.
Okay, right. Anyway. Okay, so the next show we're going to talk about is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Sabrina Spellman. Because that is the title of a show that is calling for a gritty reboot.
Okay, I mean, Dan, did you ever like read the comics or watch the old live adaptation? Because I only saw the animated version as a child
Like-
on Disney Channel.
From when I was a child, I remember like bits and pieces from like the old 80s. Was it 90s?
The live action
Yeah,
one.
the 90s live action one.
Somewhere in
like,
between.
Where, what was it? Salem was like this sassy cat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's all I
started it.
remember from it. I don't remember any of the plot lines.
And the thing is, the Sabrina I remembered was, where she was still in high school. Salem was like some wisecracking cat. The aunts would fight, but they still love each other. There's a magical cookie jar and all that. And in this one, instead, they've literally confirmed that the witch's powers come from Satan, the Dark Lord.
Yeah, and this is all part of
The gritty Netflix reboots.
yeah. So it's the same producer as Riverdale, and
Is-
they kind of also put themselves in the same universe. So this is the expanded universe of comedic comics that are now
That,
gritty and
No,
more grown up.
but because when I was watching it, when I first heard like, witches get the power from the Dark Lord and all that, I was like, oh, okay, so he's like some warlock lord or some shit.
Yeah.
And then they reveal that no, it's the outright devil. I was like, oh boy, it feels. It feels like, imagine if Ben 10 like had a reboot and instead the watch gives him cancer for his powers or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just unnecessary stakes to put on it. Like there wasn't a need for this to exist. Like you want to make a gritty witch show, make a gritty witch show. You want to make a gritty like crime drama, make a gritty crime drama. Don't bring Archie and Sabrina into this. Why is it relevant?
Okay, because for this show there are a lot of questions I had about the plot and all of that. But then like I keep hearing people saying, "Oh yeah, Sabrina's pretty good." I look online, Rotten Tomatoes 90%.
I don't get it.
No, I was just thinking, like, am I the wrong audience? Am I taking this like what is am I the problem?
Yeah. Maybe it's just us.
Yeah, and
Maybe we just don't understand this.
no, so I started thinking, like, is it like a Twilight thing? Like, I don't like Twilight, but there's like a power fantasy and romance kind of thing. But even as a power fantasy, it doesn't work that well.
And also, all of the characters in this are just like they don't do anything. Things just happen.
Okay, no, just one issue I really have. Whenever they show magic quite rarely in this universe.
Yeah.
So because, okay, when you watch Harry Potter and you see all the magical world, you're quite like, wow, being a witch or a wizard's really cool. But for this show, so I'm signing my soul away to the devil and
in return, I can play pranks on people. Yay!
oh my, I really want to talk about that scene.
Okay,
Like,
so should we like run through the episodes first, like a brief summary of each?
Okay, yeah, like real quick summary. Like first episode, Sabrina's like, she's this kid in the school with like quirky aunts, but also witches, and her parents are dead from mysterious circumstances.
Yeah, and the plot is it's coming up to her 16th birthday, which
on
also,
Halloween.
Yeah, lands on Halloween during red moon eclipse. I don't know what the word is.
Blood moon
eclipse. And it's like this special occasion because that's when she agrees
the stars
to join
align.
the devil, and
You sign your name over to the Dark Lord.
what
For freedom. Yeah, and then they backpedal and go like, oh, but the Dark Lord, he offers true choice, freedom.
Yeah,
But you have to sign your name over to him.
I don't get why they didn't make it more subtle than literally just contradicting themselves.
I mean,
minutes later.
Well, here's the thing: is like after further like a little like from what I know and little bits of research, like okay, from what I understand, like in real life there are like two separate like churches of like Satan, and then on one side it's like maybe worship. I might just be getting this wrong, but on the other side it's more about choice. Like some of the things they do is just to like get back, not like make a point about religion.
So
that's the freedom part, which I understand.
Yeah, so one of the satanic churches is it's secular.
Secular. Yeah, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it's just about it's playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, they don't worship Satan in the sense that they believe, oh, we need to sell our souls to Satan. It's more of, if God represents authoritarianism, then we're going to worship Satan because
It's like the
that's then the opposite. And yeah, so it's just like to go against it because they don't agree with it.
Yeah, but for this show, it's like, no, like, yeah, he's real. We've shown him on screen.
Yeah, he's real. He's got the horns and everything.
He's got the hoofs. Like,
hoofs.
It's not like, what was it? You know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, End of Days, where he's like a real suave business suit guy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's a scary goat person.
And like, just after the first 3 episodes, there's even stuff like, Sabrina has like, not premonition, but an omnipotent scene.
Not what, she ate the apple.
Yeah.
Like, she eats like a future sight apple or something.
Oh yeah, there's that, but I mean like, when she sees...
Oh, the parents.
Yeah, when she sees herself as a baby next to another baby with hooves for feet, and it was just like, are they gonna give her an evil twin, like, sibling?
My name's not Sabrina. I am Gabrina.
Yeah, that kind of had me a bit worried. Nothing's come of it yet, but I am worried for that plotline.
Yeah, so far. But yeah, so yeah, they all make magic seem very good. The only thing that it's maybe that you could like be like, oh, okay, I'm down for that, would be like a longer life and like youth. But then, you know, they ask, yeah, but what happens after that? They're like, we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we're just gonna not talk about it. It's all about freedom, and then you
freedom of choice.
The pedestal, and they go, do you sign your soul away? And it's like, why would you choose that wording if you're gonna sell it as freedom? Don't sell me freedom if you're going to turn around and say, now, do you give up your freedom? No one falls for that.
Like, no, put that in the fine print.
Yeah.
And then
like,
get them
change
to sign.
the wording so that it sounds like it. Just make it more convincing that people would become witches.
I would have thought the devil would be a bit more, you know, sneaky.
Yeah. You'd think, I feel like...
I mean, like, they have this other character, what's his face? Father Faustus Blackwood, who is...
Faustus, because... well, we're doing devil stuff. Of course, Faustus has to be in here.
Yeah, but, you know, after some, like, careful, like, consideration, he's basically the anti-pope. Like, he's the human representation on Earth. It's like, oh, so he's just the opposite pope.
Yeah, and he's just called Faust because Faust is commonly associated with the devil. And now he's a wizard. Warlock. He's not, like... someone who made a deal and then this whole story came out of it. No, he's a warlock. He was born a warlock.
You gotta keep with the vague theming.
Yeah. It did kind of just feel like a name drop.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So should we go back to, you know, the witches, you know, like the evil sisters?
Okay. Oh, what, the aunts?
No. You know, the prank.
Oh, the 3 evil sisters. Okay.
Set things up. Like, one of Sabrina's friends got like really badly bullied by like the jocks from the football team.
Yeah, like not just like bullied, but like actually assaulted.
And then it got her suspended from school.
Yeah, because
she instigated the fight. Oh, and
well, no, it's because the principal's
a jerk.
Yeah, the principal's he's just like extremely sexist.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit. Is it meant to be 80s? It's meant to be 80s.
No, is it?
Is it now or is it 80s?
Well, I never
all of the cars are 80s.
I never got any indication that it's in the past. But yeah, I did not see any like iPhones or anything. That's actually an interesting point. Huh.
And all of the setup of the school, like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be 80s. So
when does Riverdale take place? Because it's probably the same time period.
Riverdale has phones, doesn't it?
Sorry?
This is just raising so many questions. No. It's not the same time as Riverdale. It's
same
just,
universe.
Yeah, because they name drop Riverdale for some reason. But yeah, not getting sidetracked into the whole expanded universe of
Marvel's
Riverdale.
doing it. DC tried to do it. Boom, we gotta do it. The comic verse.
Yeah.
The Archieverse.
The Archieverse.
Okay, but in the first episode, they introduced these 3 evil witch sisters who all dress the same. And they're just
pretty much like the mean girls of the witch school.
The witch community.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they're just like, we don't like you, Sabrina. And Sabrina's like, why are you such jerks? And they're like, it's because you're a half witch. It's like, I don't even go to your school. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And it's like, because you need a rival of some sort.
Yeah, they're just racist towards her because, witches don't like mugbloods.
Witches are jerks in this universe.
Well, people are jerks in this universe. Like,
oh yeah, actually, the jocks were pretty.
The principal
mean.
sexism makes.
The principal's pretty mean.
Given the time period, you can kind of go, things were worse back then, but someone got assaulted, punched in the face by a bunch of guys.
Like, big football players. It's like, no, she started the fight. Obviously, she's wrong.
I don't get what I mean. So it goes like these 4 jocks, the Golden Boys.
Yeah.
But from everything we see of them, are they just from rich families?
I mean, they're probably like just good sports players kind of thing.
Yeah, but why would that make them untouchable? It's stupid. The show is stupid. Like, it's...
Okay, but...
It tries to make points, but it exaggerates certain elements.
Okay, that was actually a point I wanted to talk about. Like, it feels like the show's trying to do social commentary on the side as well.
It feels like it's trying to do social commentary on the 80s.
After the 80s have ended.
Yes. And, yes, some of these issues are... Well, a lot of these issues are still here, but they've kind of changed into more subtler forms because people don't like the words anymore. So then to put it back to a time where everything is out in the open, it's a bit...
Like, it feels a bit redundant? Is that what you mean?
Kinda. I don't want to say it's redundant because the issues are still there, and, they're there massively still. Yeah. They haven't gone away in the slightest. It's just maybe how they're portrayed has changed.
One issue I had... Okay, I don't know if I'm going to say this properly, but... Because, Sabrina, she sets up, a club called Wicca, which is, women's empowering, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The issue I have is the way they solve their problems is not from, having a proper platform to speak. It's from Sabrina abusing her magical powers.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's like, wait a minute, so do you need to sign your soul over to get, sending off the wrong message? But on the flip side, is this a power fantasy?
It seems to be, if you don't sell your soul to the devil, then the devil is going to threaten and potentially kill you.
Oh, yeah, he's only just been threatening her so far.
Which kind of just makes you... if you're threatened to sign your soul to someone, then that's not... Then why have the whole thing of, you should do it willingly, if you're just going to threaten them anyway?
Well, it kind of feels like they've been trying to do all according to plan, kind of in the background. His machinations.
Oh yeah, they are 100% doing that.
It's part of my plan.
They have this whole thing of your parents died in an accident.
Your father was a great warlock.
And it's she ran away, but we'll get her back, and everything will go alright because I know how to manipulate people.
No, that's the other thing. When she runs away from the dark baptism, as they call it,
yeah,
they all she ran off, and they all kind of sauntered over. We got powers, and there was some mention there might be flight, but we're not going to show it off because it's too much effort.
There's talk of this whole witch academy. Where? Where logistically is it? This has me really confused. There's no whenever they do witch stuff, they don't go to this whole society thing. They go into the woods with a few people around a fire or something.
Supposed to be reminiscent to Wiccan, I suspect.
Yeah, but then it also presents these ideas of this full underground society, which you can't just do with one makeshift tent with people surrounding it.
I also guess the other question is, why aren't they not in more power in this universe? Perhaps there could be a bit more world building on that aspect.
The world building just alludes to things that don't make sense.
Okay, so speaking of world building, do you know what really annoyed me about the show?
What was it?
Okay, because they keep talking about the witch trials, which in reality was a horrific incident because all these innocent people were killed on suspicion they were witches and stuff. In this universe, the witch trials did happen, but witches are real, so did these witches not fight back? And if they didn't fight back, you would think the devil had a part in it. So, what? because they're
Yeah.
if you were a real witch, the whole point is you would do something about it, I suppose.
Yeah. Like, they can make spiders appear and just, like, kill people with random... It's soft magic, so there's no limit on what they can do.
There's no limit on it, but they've so far made it seem kind of pathetic, beyond the long life.
They kind of allude to, like, oh, there are some powerful magics at play.
And Sabrina's just
Now
like, yeah,
let's-
so what
Now
is
let's
it?
prank the principal by making spiders appear around him.
Yes, that is what we shall use out. Witches just seem kind of lame in this interpretation. I mean, maybe it gets better later on, but so far, they have the anti-pope, and he hasn't really done much.
And then, okay, so I think we were saying earlier, one of the key components of Sabrina has always been the sassy cat Salem. So this does things a bit differently. So it's really trying to play up the Sabrina is the chosen one. She's
Yeah.
half witch, half human. She has a choice. She has the powers of a witch, but the freedom of a human. And in kind of like playing up the chosen one thing, they have
The
a
bridge between worlds.
yeah, they have to like summon her own familiar, who is Salem, who doesn't say anything.
Well, he did say something when you first got summoned.
Yeah, but he didn't say anything sassy, and that's all that counts. Like,
Well, the
it's
thing
Salem.
The thing is, Salem before was like a warlock who was turned into a cat as a punishment.
Oh yeah, because like the whole premise of the joke before was he's on parole, and in parole he's a cat because
Yeah.
like he wanted to take over the world, which was illegal in the witch universe.
No, you can't use your great gifts. Wait a minute, why are we not doing anything with our great gifts?
Yeah,
Maybe we could help our lord to. Wait a minute,
That-
it's kind of terrible being a witch.
and that's the joke. But this is just kind of like, oh, she tamed her own familiar because she's really good at magic-y stuff.
Yeah, it's real chosen one-y kind
Yeah.
of thing.
And then to get away from the sort of, oh, we need a sassy character though, they just make a new one.
Well, they actually did with Ambrose, the cousin,
Yeah.
but he's okay. He just has an accent at most.
That's the thing. He's not even that sassy.
Oh, Sabrina, don't forget later. You've got the dark baptism.
No, it's
That's about it.
like he had, I think it was one scene I found funny, which was just when, so as we said, she runs away from a dark baptism, and they all just slaughter after her, and then they're all about to go.
They come towards the house.
Yeah, they come towards the house, and she's like, "Stop! There's a ward on the house," and like, obviously there isn't, and then that's the punchline.
No, but I just love the way
I
it
thought it was
describes
funny.
the ward. It's like, if you're not spellman, you bad. And they're like, oh man, our soft magic
Yeah.
system can allow this kind of things to happen. We better
Yeah.
not. We better take his word, even though I'm the anti-pope.
Yeah, like I think the character there like pulled that joke through. I still don't get why they didn't just have Salem be sassy.
This is a dark reboot, remember?
Yeah, it's got to be like,
Hey Salem, you want to say something funny? Every night I just think about, how many people must I kill tonight? Again and again.
I know that with Salem. They then show that he has like this other form, kind of that's this weird alien thing. I'm just, why? Why isn't he always like that?
Budget.
Why?
Budget.
Yeah,
Because they're using their budget on
like
other less impressive stuff.
I could get maybe, oh, he follows her around but doesn't want to draw attention to himself. So in school and stuff, he goes into cat form. But he's always a cat, except for one scene where they wanted to allude to that he had a different form. Actually, if
It
that's
was the first time they met. Like until then, they
Yeah.
haven't really shown anything.
so, why does he, as a demon, then becoming is it because he became a familiar?
Well, I mean, they kind
But
of
then he
talked.
turns back again.
They kind of
doesn't he?
talked about it with the chameleon. The dead warlock. Who
Oh
has, like,
yeah,
a
so there's like
chameleon.
a subplot.
Yeah, and then like the it was a lizard. Yeah, and then the lizard dies
Yeah,
because his
there's-
master died.
Yeah, so there's this subplot about this.
Like they find a
Was it-
corpse,
Yeah,
and it turns out to be like a warlock.
yeah, who was adopted by a non-magic family.
And then the question was there a witch hunt, a witch hunter?
Yeah,
who killed him?
around what's happening.
And then they stopped
All
talking about
suspense.
it after that, which kind of like bothers me.
Oh no, that's coming back up again. That's coming back into the grand scheme of the Dark One, and
It was part of my machination, Sabrina. You shall hand over your soul.
in trying to make it more adult and for like an older audience now, by which it means I'm 14 and this is deep.
Whoa, I've never seen a show like this.
Exactly. If I was younger, and maybe in a bit more of my edgier phase, I would have loved this show.
No, do you know this show
Not
actually
gonna lie.
it kind of reminds me of, you know, like how there are people who grew up on Pokemon and then say, you know, I want to still be able to watch Pokemon and not feel ashamed. And they're like, whoa, they should make it darker, like, you know.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it feels a bit like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, the Pokemon, they suffer in the Pokeball. You know, something like that. Instead of
yeah,
this
it's like,
version.
that doesn't make it more adult. It just makes it more stupid. You
just
can
doesn't
enjoy
fit.
something that's light and fun as an adult. Adventure Time's great. Like,
they just
Subi.
do their own thing. Third episode, I really want to talk about, because that episode made me like, when I was, it's like, this is the last episode I have to see. And I was like, I am so glad this is the last episode I'll ever have to watch.
Yeah.
Because in the third episode, Sabrina and like the whole family are brought to court. Because she
it was
promised.
this episode. Sorry, I forgot for a second.
Oh,
Yeah, oh my god.
I would like to forget that episode.
I didn't think it was the worst episode.
No, okay, hear me out. Just hear me out.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, they're brought to court, like the whole family's brought to court. So, like, because Sabrina didn't give her soul to the devil and they had a deal and all that. And then, you know, they when they go to the courthouse, they're trying to do all these opposite things. Like, instead of, like, the judges going order, they go disorder.
Oh,
But yet
yeah.
they still mean order. They still want people to be quiet. They're just saying it as an
I
opposite
still don't get
because-
why they do that. It's they're witches, so they do the opposite thing. They praise Satan, right? So when they want order, they say disorder because they're disordered.
Your honor. No, your dishonor.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's like disorder. It's like, so do we go louder now? Why
Like-
don't you just use normal words like normal people? What is this opposite thing?
Yeah, it's like, look, even if they're on Team Satan, I would still think they want to get things done.
It's also something that really annoyed me about that is it's the type of humor that you'd have in a 90s sitcom. Why
Whoa, you mean like what Sabrina was based on?
why did they adapt it to be grittier and more adult, but then keep some of the stupid fun stuff and then try to pass it off seriously? I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it.
No, but also, I mean, in this show, they're like, you know, because Sabrina doesn't want to hand over her show, and because as like some evil Dark Lord with lots of power, I'm not going to do anything. Instead, I'm going to get, you know, we're going to bring them to court. And then lo and behold, it turns out there's a witch lawyer who comes and helps Sabrina.
Yeah, who's mortal, but
No, because of your father, because you are the chosen one, I happen to know about witch law,
yeah.
and I've got my own
Is that,
backstory.
and it's also so this like witch lawyer. So Fausted was never Fausted. So Faust was never Fausted, but this witch lawyer was Fausted.
You mean
Which-
like
He signed a deal and then got an ironic twist on it.
yeah, like
Faust didn't get that, but this
Yet.
random guy,
Yet.
this OC, oh yeah, he's got random.
I'm the super lawyer. I was given powers by the Dark Lords and to be the
Yeah.
best lawyer ever.
And also, yeah, the Dark Lord seems to have a really weird imbalance between wanting to do everything contractually and not.
Hmm.
So when it comes to like threatening Sabrina, it's like, oh, you didn't sign it, you have to sign it.
You
Is it-
promised it to me. Oh, because
Yeah.
your father signed your name over. It's like infant dark baptism.
Yeah, but then even in this, when this lawyer is having a case effectively against Satan,
No,
He's
no,
still
but I mean his argument was
wins.
literally, where is the evidence? Like he's using like,
yeah, because there was no evidence, because the case, there was this whole stupid case.
I mean, it felt like they treated the case in the way that cases would be handled during the witch hunts of Salem,
Yeah,
like the witch trials.
well, they even
We'll
like
make Sab-
referenced
Well,
it. a
yeah,
bit.
what like if she floats and she's a witch.
Yeah. So I'm just like, if they're doing all of this stupid stuff. So the whole trial was she ran away from her dark baptism, and because there was an implication
That she
Of-
promised her soul.
that she promised her soul, therefore she broke a promise which was illegal to do, even though the entire point of signing the contract was to make that promise. She never signed it. And then
The devil in all his power decides I'll send off my anti-pope.
yeah,
Go sue her.
So then there's all of these stupid things of just
Like references to the witch trials, which would have been great in the 60s show.
there's that, but then there's also it's trying to be very contractual while being the opposite of contractual because these are
disorder.
yeah,
We're
they kind
evil,
of
so
take
we're opposites.
that to go okay, so they should do things like instead of being innocent until proven guilty, they're guilty until proven innocent. Haha, so funny. And then they do things in very like non-contractual ways, so your parents can sign your soul away and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden it's also so sign this contract so that we can have your soul because we won't take it otherwise. What?
And how do they solve this whole court case with all these? I mean, there have all these other subplots going on in that episode, which I don't even care about because it's like surely this court case is significantly more important than Sabrina worrying about like friends and stuff. Like, and then it turns out that your mother gave you an infant baptism at the Catholic Church, therefore the contract is no.
And
I'm sorry. Does it work that way?
Yeah, it's just stupid twists.
1 + -1 is 0.
Yeah, it's not like anything logical. It's them making up rules as they go. So the plot twists are literally, oh, but there's this Deus Ex Machina. Oh, but I have this Deus Ex Machina.
But I'm chosen one. I have plot armor.
Yeah, exactly. And why? Why?
Look, if they establish like this infant baptism, like allowing it to nullify it earlier on and just in passing, I would not say that's an issue. But they didn't.
Yeah.
What?
There's no sort of like hinting towards what then happens later or anything like that. It's just, and then this thing happened. And also, a little bit of a tangent. Talking about the side characters at the school and like Sabrina's friends, you don't have to overdo character motives. So what I mean by this is, one of the students who helped set up Wicca, is like finds it stupid that all of these books have like this soft ban. So while they're not technically banned because that would be illegal, all of them have been like permanently signed out.
Yeah, I mean, this is an example of squeezing in social commentary in the show about magic.
But the thing is, with that character, it was fine to have that as like their motivation because people are
it's like these are good books and you are like not letting people read them because they're slightly controversial.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, why does this care to me so much? Because I'm going blind. You didn't need that.
Can you not read the book now?
Like, well, no. Like, that's the whole point, that she wants to read it before these 3 months are up. And she's like, you're just saying an arbitrary time limit. This isn't... They had a character motive. Why have you just, like...
it's a shame.
Overplayed it.
Yeah, and if only we had, a bit of magic in this universe. Maybe her eyes could be magically healed, like by some good friend of hers.
Or laser eye surgery.
We'll never know. Okay, but
So how would you rate this show?
I'm giving this show a C-. Like, I do not understand why people. Wait, sorry, I still have one last point. Which
you have 20 seconds to make your point.
Okay, so if by having the baptism thing nullify the contract, that established that the church has power in this universe, right?
Yes.
So they're not going to the church for help against the devil because they want to be free, but they're still using his magic to fight him. That's not going to end well. I'm sorry. You can't just say, I want to be a free human, but then yet establish their supernatural powers.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Right? Why did she not... There's no agenda. In this universe, why is she not going to the church for help? Why is she not getting witch hunters to help out? She could be like Blades or something.
Well, I guess witch hunters because she's half witch, but she's had a baptism. This show is just aggravating.
Maybe it gets better.
I don't know.
Maybe it's an inverse Hill House where you watch the last episode and everything makes sense. It's like, oh,
It's all bad up until the end.
right. He gets witty at the end of it. So in who knows?
Anyway, I'd rate it. I think C minus again.
C minus.
Actually, after talking about it, I've gone even angry at it. I think I'm gonna go D. I'm giving this show a D.
Well, yeah. So Sabrina, yeah. In theory, it's good, but in
I don't
practice,
even think in theory.
oh boy.
Anyway, I've been Dan.
Yeah, I've been Andrew.